for the Fed's mid-June meeting. Hillary Barsky, Fox News.
A Senate committee will vote on Warsh's nomination tomorrow. On Wall Street, stock futures are mixed up for the Dow, down big for the NASDAQ, the day after the NASDAQ and the S&P 500 once again closed at record highs. I'm Dave Anthony, and this is Fox News.
News Talk 710 KURV, broadcasting from the Valley's All-American Truck Headquarters studio at PayneAutomall.com.
Here I am asking if I should turn lights. Turn off your microphone before you talk to Freddie. Happy Tuesday. It is April 28th, 2026. This is the Valley's Morning News on News Talk 710 KURV. So we're doing the X Live, and we're doing YouTube Live during the 7 o'clock hour. Hope you can join us. That way you can post any comment, or you can also send it to us on the WhatsApp, the 710 KURV line at 956-862-2482. Show producer Fred Cruz, Jason Caterina from AccuWeather joining us in about 3 minutes. I'm Sergio Sanchez. Appreciate you being with us. In the news, a huge appeals court decision related to local law enforcement and federal law. An appeals court ruling that in the state of Texas authorities can arrest and deport illegal aliens.
By a 10-7 vote, the Fifth Circuit Court held that El Paso County and a nonprofit do not have standing to challenge SB 4, which the state legislature passed in 2023, but the panel did not determine whether it's lawful. SB 4 was approved during a surge of unlawful border crossings and makes illegal entry and re-entry a state-level crime. It authorizes judges to initiate deportation proceedings. Before the decisions, two courts, including a panel of the Fifth Circuit, blocked the law. They had ruled states could only help the federal government enforce immigration laws, but can't implement their own. Barbara Schwartz, News Talk 710 KURV.
It's 7:07 on the Valley's Morning News. An 18-year-old high school student at Premier High School McAllen is facing multiple charges after reportedly threatening a teacher. The incident happened back on April 14th. Investigators say that the McAllen student allegedly at one point said that he was going to get his AR ready. He was booked on multiple charges, released on $30,000 bond. It's 7:07 on News Talk 710 KURV. Rio Grande Valley Startup Week is underway at Brownsville. The event includes daily sessions featuring advice and Q&A sessions with Valley education, political, and business leadership. It's a chance for Valley entrepreneurs to get some valuable advice. It's all week. Last day will be May 2nd if you'd like to get some information. The website is rgvstartup.com. Texas Republicans are celebrating the latest decision by the U.S. Supreme Court to allow the state of Texas to use newly drawn congressional maps.
Back in December, the U.S. Supreme Court greenlit the use of the Republican redrawn congressional maps for the November midterms. But this decision makes that permanent. The conservative justices on the highest court struck down a lower court decision that found that there was evidence that the new map was racially gerrymandered, an argument made by LULAC attorney Nina Perales, the lead plaintiff.
There's abundant evidence that legislators targeted districts on the basis of race.
Governor Abbott never had a doubt the maps would stand up in court.
I feel very confident the Supreme Court is going to take this case and once again overturn Judge Jeff Brown for a wrong ruling on redistricting.
In Austin, Chris Fox, News Talk 710 KURV.
And an informal poll from Reddit users, they say that the most famous individual from Texas, or the most famous Texan, no, it's not LBJ, it's not Sam Houston, it's not even Beyonce from, as far as pop culture. Reddit users say it is Hank Hill from King of the Hill, the cartoon. It's 7:09. It's accurate with the time. And I want to say thank you to Dougie and all the gang at Martin Farm and Ranch for providing us 7 o'clock AccuWeather. Purina Feed, that's what you'll find. The best for your livestock, for your pets. Purina Feed at Martin Farm and Ranch. AccuWeather meteorologist Jason Caterina is joining us. And I was telling Freddie last hour, Jason, we had a nice blanket of cloud cover all day long yesterday. Menacing skies. I didn't get to send you the video. So what do you think? What's going on with all these clouds, a blanket, which is fine. At least we can prevent, triple digit heat
Yeah, maybe it'll hold back a little bit of the heat, but really, not expecting anything until maybe Friday night into Saturday as far as precipitation for us is concerned with any kind of, not, and I wouldn't say certainty, but there's the opportunity for a little sea breeze action here or there, but for the most part, you're looking at just dry and hot weather here.
What do you say? Can we keep that cloud cover, that blanket, like today, tomorrow, the next day?
We're going to have some clouds and sun around, so certainly the opportunities there that we could keep the clouds around a bit, which would help. But temperature is still going to be quite hot for us today and tomorrow. It'll moderate very slightly Thursday, and then Friday will be hot again, and then the front comes through Friday night into Saturday, and that should help things out. At least for a day or two.
With rain, right?
Yeah, we'll get a little rain, and then it'll cool down a little bit for the first half of the weekend there.
All right. Anything interesting? Texas travel, truckers headed north right now. What you got for them?
It's pretty quiet for the day today. Let's see. Houston, the clouds breaking for some sun. It'll be breezy this afternoon. Tonight, or Dallas, clouds and sun. Severe thunderstorm this afternoon, though. Could bring hail, damaging winds, and a tornado. So Dallas, you'll have to watch out.
That's Dallas for you.
San Antonio, clouds breaking for some sun. Otherwise, not really a big deal.
Your 710 KURV exclusive AccuWeather. The forecast from Jason Katerina and the crew at AccuWeather. Again, temperatures. We're hoping to keep temperatures like in the 90s. I'm hoping to keep some cloud cover, but if not, if the skies break, definitely triple digits for us today and tomorrow, and start changing up the weather a little bit by Thursday, Friday. That is your AccuWeather forecast on this National Blueberry Pie Day. So enjoy with some Cool Whip or some ice cream. Ice cream. Cool Whip. All right, pal. That's we'll call you next hour. AccuWeather meteorologist Jason Katerina on Newstalk 710 KURV. And stick around, folks, in import and export. You guys in international trade, of course, you would know this, that the portal for reimbursement of tariffs, it is open. So how are things going? Anybody getting deposits of cash? No, I think the process is barely getting started. JT will join us from Interlink Trade Services. Jorge Torres, my friend, will be sharing a conversation with him and looking at other trade news and international trade news, USMCA, all that coming up at about 7:15 on the Valley's Morning News. Back to the world of politics, new polling numbers from News Nation. Not looking very good for Republicans and President Trump right now.
President Trump's political team is looking to convince voters that things are going to improve between now and November. Now, essentially asking Americans to let Trump finish the job rather than focusing on the current state of affairs, which does show these lagging approval numbers. We've got this DDHQ polling average showing that 57% of Americans disapprove of the president's performance, while 40% approve.
Libby Dean is with News Nation. State of Florida is restricting the movement of some animals from Texas because of concerns related to the New World screwworm that's getting close to Texas.
The Florida Commissioner of Agriculture has issued an emergency rule. It says that all warm-blooded animals from high-risk counties being imported into Florida must have a certificate that they've been inspected and found to be free of any infectious diseases or pests. Because the New World screwworm has been detected in Mexico, about 125 miles from the border with Texas, the rule applies to 6 counties in southern Texas. Those are Zapata, Jim Hogg, Starr, Hidalgo, Webb, and Brooks counties. The language specifying warm-blooded animals means the rule applies to cattle and horses. Texas Ag Commissioner Sid Miller says Florida's move is understandable, and they are acting to protect their state.
You notice that, right, Freddie? Only warm-blooded animals, right? So our sales staff should be okay, though, right? Time is 7:14. Come on, Freddie. That was pretty good. Time is 7:14 on Newstalk 710 KURV. Valley's Morning News for a Tuesday. Conversation with my buddy JT from Interlink Trade Services. Import, Export Pro. So Washington is supposed to be providing refunds for some of the emergency tariffs that the president charged earlier this year. How's that coming along? Plus, we'll talk about free trade. International trade, Canada, U.S., and Mexico. That's next on 710 KURV.
Epic parties start at Staples. Now you can grab Party City balloons, decorations, and tableware, plus matching custom invites, banners, and more right at Staples. That was easy.
They say that actions speak louder than words, so we'll let the all-new, state-of-the-art BMW of FAR show you what that means. Choose from an incredible selection of new BMWs and get exceptional service today. Right now, you can lease a 2026 BMW X3 30X Drive, just $569 a month, with $52.99 due at signing. Come see why BMW has always been known as the ultimate driving machine. Visit the corner of Expressway 281 and Owassa in FAR. Come find your new BMW today at BMW of FAR, a Bird Ogden Auto Group dealership.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Brian Kilmeade here, inviting you to tune in weekday mornings starting at 9 for the Sergio Show with Sergio Sanchez on News Talk 710, KURV, and KURV.com.
How did that business reporter say Orioles, Freddie? Orioles, right? It's the Astros at Baltimore against the Orioles, against the Orioles. Broadcast time 5:05 tonight on your station for Astros baseball. News Talk 710 KURV. Big thank you to Dr. T's Primary Care for Men and Women. Anyone in international trade is likely going to see a refund here if they were charged some of those emergency tariffs by the Trump administration after the high court said, no, you can't do that with this provision on tariffs. Well, there might be tariffs. There are tariffs now and more tariffs near future. So let's make sense of this for importers, exporters, and for you as a consumer or maybe wholesaler as well. Jorge Torres, my friend JT, president of Interlink Trade Services in the studio. So the portal has been open for several days, that federal portal that is, I guess, already providing or putting in process, right, some of these refunds. So how does it work, JT? Like, are they getting bank deposits now, or are they applying for it and there's more red tape to go through, or how does it work?
Yeah, as of April 20th, phase one of the CAPE, which is the refund portal, it's available. Companies have been able to submit their refund requests. You know, it's been working pretty well, very minor issues. So it's a very simple process. You just submit a list of your entries, and if you get accepted, then you can get a refund within 60 to 90 days of being accepted in the portal. So this is effective as of April 20th, and it's phase one right now.
60, 90 days of being accepted. In talking with you off air, I'm thinking 60, 90 days down the road, there might be more tariffs for them to worry about. So like, go ahead and keep the money, or can they put it in an escrow and then start paying those tariffs in the near future?
Yes, that's an issue that we're seeing now, because as the president said initially in February when IEEPA was struck down, said, well, this is not the end of the road for tariffs. Yeah, IEEPA might not be the way that we are going to collect tariffs, but we're going to implement such as Section 122, which is up, for 150 days in July, 10%. But they're doing investigations under Section 301 for excess capacity and forced labor, including Mexico is part of those investigations. And then Section 232 for steel, aluminum, and copper, they changed the calculation process, whereas before it was for derivative products, it was on the metal content. Now it's on the full value. So there were some winners and losers, but mainly losers. So now companies are paying more. Most companies are paying more in Section 232. So, yeah, like you mentioned, you can get the money back from IEEPA, but be careful, because in the middle of the year, we're probably going to see more tariffs through other means, such as Section 301 and Section 232. So companies say, wait a minute, I'm getting it back, but I'm probably going to have to start paying again sometime after the middle of the year. So, that's the current situation. So.
Put best you can, JT, in layman's terms. 232, yes, the metals, the aluminum, the copper, steel. Okay, I get it. And the last conversation you and I had, as you explained just right now, you said, okay, now full value of the product versus just the metal that went in. So now that's what we're going to calculate the tariff on, which is the car, the washing machine, the fridge, whatever it is that's coming back. Now we're going to slap the tariff on that, not just the metal, but the full value of the consumer product or whatever is produced. 301. What is that tariff? What is it? How does that apply?
Well, that's a different provision for unfair market practices, such as trademark infringements, and where the country is at risk for wrong practices by other countries, and they can slap that provision like, okay, we are Department of Commerce opened an investigation for excess capacity. So what they're saying is, okay, countries are using their excess capacity to dump product into the United States or forced labor. There's a lot of countries that use forced labor to produce products exported to the United States. So they opened investigations, Department of Commerce, and then they say, okay, yes, I think we have a case. And then, the president said, okay, fine, let's slap tariffs. So that's more country specific, and by product, so by tariff code. So maybe some countries are going to get higher, lower, or maybe they're going to apply it to all countries, but by product, by commodity.
There's some words that belong in the same sentences as far as just paying attention to the news. Yeah, we saw that. You mentioned that they started that investigation trying to lay the groundwork for potential tariffs. So forced labor and China are words that are used interchangeably. So, and with China producing all this stuff coming this way, so that might mean more tariffs for them near future. Jorge Torres, president of Interlink Trade Services. What is in the works as far as NAFTA or the USMCA? Because you were telling me off air, there's been conversations already. They're more on the way. This summer is supposed to be the summer that irons out all the new wrinkles and all that. So what do you hear?
Yes, there was a round of meetings and conversations last week in Mexico, and there's going to be another round on the week of May 25th with Mexico, the United States and Mexico. But the feedback from last week's meetings is that the United States was very clear that they're not going to get rid of sectorial tariffs under 232, for example, for automotive and metals from Mexico. So pretty much they already laid the ground saying, yeah, we might continue USMCA, but don't think that we're going to get rid of the Section 232 tariffs and other provisions that we might see suitable. So the Secretary of Economy from Mexico, Marcelo Ebrard, pretty much came out and said, yeah, we're not going to get rid of tariffs. So Mexico's position now under the negotiations, in my opinion, has to be that they need to negotiate not to eliminate the tariffs, but to get concessions and get lower tariffs than other countries so that they can continue to be competitive. Because, the sentiment or the approach by the government is like everyone's going to get slapped with tariffs one way or the other. Well, Mexico, by being USMCA, as long as they can negotiate a lower tariff base, they will still remain competitive compared to other countries. And then nearshoring can gain traction again. So that's going to be the strategy from the Mexican government standpoint. Not negotiate getting rid of the tariffs, negotiate lowering the tariffs by giving certain concessions.
Does Mexico have do they have any leverage in ag and other resources, any leverage aside from asking, could you please not charge us on this 232 steel and copper and aluminum full product tariff, not just metals, but full product tariff that you're going to slap on everything, which obviously I thought they would be immune to that because of the trade agreement. So do they have any other leverage they could use to avoid that or lower that?
Well, as we have mentioned before, Mexico, it's key to the United States. I mean, the U.S. cannot, I don't want to say cannot survive without Mexico, but they're a key partner. So even with all this, I think Mexico has somewhat of leverage. But again, there are non-tariff barriers that the United States Trade Representative has has mentioned or has indicated to Mexico 50-some non-tariff barriers, which include private sector investment in energy and electricity, red tape, the judicial reform, the labor reform. So the U.S. say, well, if you can, help me get rid of some of those or fix some of those things, yeah, we might give you some concessions on certain areas. And I know Mexico is kind of working on that. So we're probably going to see some going back and forth and some concessions. But other than that, it's going to be complex.
The only resources I see that would be of any value for this negotiation would be petroleum, or energy output production, where the lines from Mexico are increased coming in to provide more power. Outside of that, it seems that it'd be issues that are beyond their control. Labor, oh yeah, good luck with that. Yeah. Security, good luck with that. Red tape, you got a bunch of leftist lawmakers in Mexico City. They're probably not going to budge. Yeah. Saying, oh no, the rich got to pay, things like that. So I don't know if.
Well, something happened last week that was kind of interesting. That caught our attention is that the U.S. government is giving concessions or tariff reduction on Section 232 for aluminum steel, for steel coming from Mexico that is going to the automotive industry. So instead of 50%, they lowered the rate to 25% for Mexico steel producers that export steel and aluminum for the automotive industry, with the condition that at some point they're going to open facilities to mills to make steel and aluminum products. So if they come in with a project and commit, say, we're going to buy land, we're going to build up this much capacity, hire so many people in the United States, then they say, well, we're going to give you a credit or reduce the tariff from 50 to 25%. So how much traction is that going to get? I don't know, because in order to get the reduction from 50 to 25%, the companies have to make commitments of investment in the United States for steel aluminum production. And if they don't, comply with those commitments, then they're going to get a slap again with 50%, and then maybe retroactive. So that was interesting. So we'll see what's going to happen with that.
Jorge Torres is president of Interlink Trade Services. He's my international trade expert, and he knows what he's talking about, import, export, and watching all the forces behind that. I need to ask you, and just get your closing thoughts here, about a couple of minutes. So you and I were reading part of a pool article that a mutual friend of ours, Joaquin, sent out to everybody. And the gist of it was how Mexico always winds up being the bridesmaid and not the bride. Always being second or third on a list of multinational industries and where they consider to set up. And in the end, I'll go back to what I said earlier. It seems to be issues related to items that they cannot fix immediately. So in these 30 some odd years that you've been in international trade, looking at NAFTA, now USMCA, has Mexico have they made some ground? Have they improved enough? I hope that Mexico would have been closer to being a first world government, first world power. They're getting there. They have a lot of industry, but it's very dependent on Asia, U.S. manufacturer, everybody else. You mentioned earlier that the U.S. might not be dependent on Mexico, but it's definitely vice versa. So give me your thoughts on why Mexico comes in second on the list of international manufacturers when they choose and they decide to go somewhere else. Some of the forces that are at play that I hope and pray that in our lifetime they have a chance to fix south of the border.
Well, when NAFTA was implemented in '94 with President Salinas de Gortari, that created a boom in industrial investment in Mexico, maquiladoras, for example. So we did see a boom of manufacturing facilities in Mexico. And from then on, with the governments from the PRI and the PAN, their so-called neoliberal governments, they were more flexible for private and foreign investment. So we got some traction. They alleviated some of the administrative processes and things of that nature. But then, and this is a reality, we see a left-leaning government, and now we're going back, back a little bit because of the different strategy that they have, more of a social socialist government. So that creates uncertainty for foreign investors in Mexico. And even though there's private economic development going on in Mexico, like we discussed, I mean, there are a lot of things out of their control. Yeah, you can provide competitive land prices and incentives in certain areas, but if an investor doesn't have certainty from a legal, labor, resources, electricity, water standpoint, they're going to think twice about investing in Mexico, which are things that are out of the control of many people.
Not to mention security and political as well.
Yes.
I don't know, man. You and I going to see in our lifetime Mexico advance, climb to first world status, or are these? I don't know, because leftist minded Mexico City is lost, and I don't see how you escape something like that. They're cashing in on the golden goose, but at the same time keeping their mindset would just spread the public wealth. And as far as security, well, Lord, I hope and pray that Mexico does.
Let's hope for the best.
All right, brother. Anything you want to tell either in business, your clients, or anybody else right now to check out?
No, just to be in the lookout for changes, especially for those that are in the metals industry. Just make sure that you do your numbers well, do your analysis. For those companies requesting the IEPA refunds, it's great. You might get your money 60 to 90 days from now, but make sure that you have all your ducks in a row, because you're going to be in the radar from the government standpoint for audits and reviews. So as long as you feel comfortable that you can sustain what you're telling them for a refund process, you'll be fine. But just make sure that you're ready.
Sock it away in escrow, people. You're going to be paying it in your future.
Yes.
Thank you, JT, for stopping by. Jorge Torres, president of Interlink Trade Services.
Thank you.
Thank you, JT, for your time and your support. This is the Valley's Morning News. This is the pulse of the 956. It's News Talk 710 KURV. Your station for Astros baseball. We got sports up next.
There's a new kind of energy at Starbucks. Try the all-new energy refreshers, Strawberry Yakai, Mango Dragon Fruit, or the all-new Mango Strawberry. New energy refreshers only at Starbucks.
Come into Volvo Cars Edinburgh today and find the Volvo that's right for you. Shop from a great selection of Volvos today. Get comfortable in the incredible new 2026 Volvo XC40 with all the technology and innovation that makes the Volvo brand stand out from the rest. Lease one today for just $399 a month. That's right, $399 a month. We shop the competition so you don't have to at Volvo Cars Edinburgh, a Bird Ogden Auto Group dealership. Dale gas!
The state-of-the-art water purification systems from Culligan are terrific, and I know that you'll be a big fan. Now, I encourage you to call the good folks at Culligan, 399-1780. Call them. I'm going to give you the number here in just a few seconds. Call Culligan, and you will have, like Deli and I have at our house, you could have it at your house or at your office as well. This is a very nice thing to do for folks at your office, at your clinic, at your firm. Call Culligan. Ask them to install a state-of-the-art water purification system. These are the folks who are highly trained and licensed by the state of Texas to install at laboratories and at industry. They need different purification systems for industry, restaurants all over the place. Yeah, these are the folks. It's Culligan. And for you, they'll install a water purification system. You have a constant stream of satiating and truly purified, great tasting water all the time. You don't have to worry about bottles full of water, plastic bottles full of water, microplastics. Just call Culligan. It's only $35 a month. You'll have that constant stream of purified water at 956-399-1780.
Tune in later today at 6 after the 956 drive home for Houston Astros baseball as they visit the Baltimore Orioles. Powered by Dr. T's Primary Care for Men and Women and News Talk 710 KURV.
Steve Valdez is Director for Economic Development for our city of Weslaco. When I'm thinking economic development of late, I'm thinking airport.
Yeah, the location is great. It's centrally located in the region of South Texas. They've got a $27 million funding that came to them recently And the EDC side, we use that as a promotional tool as much as we can.
What are some of the highlights, job creators for Weslaco?
$80 million in construction going on right now in the city of Weslaco. Of course, Sam's Club is the big win for us. They're almost half of the total cost of that $80 million in just one project. They're bringing 200 jobs. We have probably one of the most accessible historic downtowns in the region. We are in the process of acquiring a company to do a downtown urban development plan that'll get us into the next few years of how we lay out our downtown.
Dave Valdez is the Director for Economic Development Efforts for our city of Weslaco. The 710 KURV Sports Desk is brought to you by Dr. T's Primary Care for Men and Women.
The Texas Rangers took a tough loss at home to the New York Yankees yesterday, 4-2. Both teams started the game quiet, but the Yankees got the scoring started in the top of the third inning with a pair of home runs from Ben Rice and Aaron Judge to go up 3-0. In the fourth, Jazz Chisholm Jr. tacked on a third blast to go up 4. Despite a Jock Peterson seventh-inning homer and a couple hits in the bottom of the ninth, the Rangers fell short in the effort. Jack Leiter got the start, giving up 8 hits and 3 home runs in 6 innings. The team will be back in action today as they face off against the Yankees in Game 2 of the series. I'm Adam C., and this is your Texas in the Morning Sports Report.
AccuWeather says triple digits today, possible. Yesterday was kind of nice. Wasn't triple digit? Yesterday was a triple digit forecast too, right? Like close to that, right? But then we had cloud cover all day long. I'm kind of hoping and praying that happens today. So, well, the forecast is mid to upper 90s, maybe triple digits, Mid-Valley, Western Valley. Same thing tomorrow. The heat continues. There still is a possibility of a cool front for late Friday into Saturday. For AccuWeather, it's News Talk 710 KURV. Border Bridge wait times is posted on KURV.com. Go back to the website, KURV.com, and you'll see the reports from customs. So if you're headed back to the McAllen Mission, Edinburgh area, it is 45 minutes at Hidalgo. Same thing at the Far Bridge, about a half hour at the Ansalduas Bridge. And if you're headed back to Brownsville, 40-45 at B&M and Gateway. Same thing at the Veterans Bridge, about 45 minutes. This is the Valley's Morning News on News Talk 710 KURV. Business News. Check of your money up next.
They said copies for a penny couldn't be done. We said, watch us. Total Imaging Solutions. We're flipping the script on printing. Whether you're a small business or a big operation, it doesn't matter. If you need a printer or copier, Total Imaging Solutions has the right printer for you. You get the printer for a simple monthly fee and copies, just a penny or less a page. No ink or toner charges. No surprise service fees, just clear, honest pricing. And if your old printer's slowing you down, we'll trade it out and level you up. Whether you print just a couple of copies a day or need the next New York Times press, we can help. Plus, if anything ever breaks, our team will have you up and running in under 4 hours. Easy printing, fast service, real savings. That's the penny or less revolution. Call 956-664-2113 or visit copiesforapenny.com. That's copiesforapenny.com. Total Imaging Solutions, helping your business one penny at a time.
McCreary Aviation, happy 80th birthday. Bob McCreary, who comes through those doors when it comes to charter, rental, lessons?
On the flight side, flight schools and people like that, it's everything. We see teenagers coming in, young adults that want to come in, make a career out of it. We get business people that want to do it and have the ability to travel for business. You can buy their own airplane or rent and go places. Or we have people that just want to do it for fun. We get people who have come in, they'll use our charter service to move around, and they find that they really like this, and they have a big demand for travel. If you have a travel need, just give us a call. And oftentimes, share with the chief pilot, hey, I need to be here at this time. I need to be back by this time. Can you do it? And if so, we give you a quote. How much is it? And then make your decision and go.
Leave and return on your timeline. Fly McCreary Aviation. Phone number 956-686-1774. Visit their website, McCrearyAviation.com, for their 24/7 emergency phone number.
On May 2nd, vote yes on Proposition A. Vote yes on repairs, upgrades, more teaching facilities, more security for our kids at McAllen ISD. with no tax rate increase. Local attorney Jesse Barba.
Competition is wonderful. Let us compete on equal playing fields. Give us the funds to maintain buildings. Let us repair the roofs, put up the facilities we need so that we can compete with other programs. I have no problem with competition. McAllen has just landed a company from France coming in. There will be a subcontractor for the automobile industry. It will be high-tech jobs. That requires education. You don't need to be sending a signal to international companies telling them that we need less education and we're not investing in our system. We want to compete and we want to show them that we can. We're every bit as intelligent as the people in Austin, Dallas, and Houston. Just the education to do it. Your tax rate will not increase. This is wonderful for the community.
Early vote is April 20th through the 28th. Election day is Saturday, May 2nd.
Paid for by Rosalinda Aguirre.
Audio streaming on KURV.com. Powered by South Texas Buick GMC. McAllen Mission.
I'm Nicole Murray with your money now. Gas is still going to cost you. Oil prices have risen this morning, up by more than 3%, as U.S. officials consider Iran's offer to reopen the Strait of Hormuz and end the war, but leave nuclear negotiations for a later stage. West Texas Intermediate currently hovering at roughly $101 per barrel, Brent at $112. Shares of companies tied to artificial intelligence infrastructure tumbled this morning after a report that OpenAI has fallen short of internal growth expectations. Oracle dropped 7.5%, while NVIDIA, Broadcom, and Advanced Micro Devices declined between 2% and 5%. BP reported stronger than expected first quarter earnings, citing exceptional oil trading contributions. The company also said it expects reported upstream production to be lower in the second quarter when compared to the first 3 months of the year. Futures are mixed as NASDAQ futures slide on OpenAI's report. Monday, the Dow Industrials dropped 62. That's your money now.
AccuWeather says potential for triple-digit heat today, so it should be mid to upper 90s, triple digits. The same thing tomorrow. There's still hope that perhaps we get a cool front or the tail end of a cool front this coming Friday, Saturday, maybe change the weather for Sunday as well. This is the Valley's Morning News. This is News Talk 710 KURV. You can join us, especially 7 o'clock hour. Yeah, we can join us at X Live and YouTube Live as well. We can do a rewind and check some of the day's news. We have Fox News coming up in 2 minutes on News Talk 710 KURV.
Epic parties start at Staples. Now you can grab Party City balloons, decorations, and tableware, plus matching custom invites, banners, and more right at Staples. That was easy.
You know what is easy is to make a phone call to Healthcare Unlimited and ask them to help you in taking care of your precious mom and dad. They get a little slower every day, a little weaker every day. It's life. And you love them and you want to make sure they're safe and you want to make sure that they're home because that's where they want to be. They want to be home in familiar surroundings in their kitchen, their restroom, their own bed, the privacy of their own home. That's where they want to be. Healthcare Unlimited can provide that independence, continue that independence like they did for my mom and dad. Many years back, I moved them down from Houston, and Healthcare Unlimited was part of that team. You are not alone, my friend. You make a call today. You stress about taking care of your babies, your kids, trying to keep up with your career and pay the bills. And then there's mom and dad, and oh man, I want them to be safe. I want them to be okay. Are they okay? Yeah, they can be. Just call Healthcare Unlimited. You are not alone in taking care of your precious mom and dad. They loved on my parents. They will love on yours as well. These are godly people, great people at Healthcare Unlimited. Trust them with the day-to-day. A little bit of food, cleaning up the house, the bathing, the grooming, get the nails clipped, the buttons, all button up, all those things have become very difficult for mom and dad. Healthcare Unlimited. Call them today. They can help you with your mom and dad at 956-994-9911.
The eternal struggle. Too hot? Too cold? Forget about it. Mike's Plumbing, Electrical, and HVAC will make your home a true Goldilocks zone. Don't bear it alone when your fairy tale home feels like a nightmare gone wrong. Mighty Mike is your shining hero who will save the day with service that's not too early, not too late, but just right. Call Mighty Mike at 956-686-1353 or visit callmightymike.com. Mike's Plumbing, Electrical, and HVAC.
Get it right. Call Mighty Mike.
Mighty Mike to the rescue.
Just one call to solve it all.
Hi there, my name is Tony Bolstead. My wife and I, Carol, own Sand Monsters. We'd like you to come on out and have fun. We've got a half-mile long track out here. It runs across about 3.5 acres. Have adult cars and kid cars, getting laps in, learning how to drive on the sand. And we also lease space to Redline Helicopters is one of our tenants here, and they've got a pad and they do helicopter tours. Lone Star National Bank and the team there really helped us get this thing put together, answered all our questions, huge help.
I am Stephanie Harrison. I am the second generation owner of Sisters Interiors on South Padre Island. We had always dreamed of owning our own land and owning our own building, using our design team to create what you see here today. That's how we got involved with Lone Star National Bank. We partnered with them and they helped us, create the dream.
More than just the headlines.
The Valley's Morning News.
News Talk 710 KURV.
It's the Pulse of the 956. It is News Talk 710 KURV. Also live on X and YouTube, especially 7 o'clock hour. Do the rewind, check some of the day's news. I'm Sergio Sanchez, along with show producer Fred Cruz, Jason Caterina from AccuWeather, you and family, and all those huercos you're dropping off at school this morning. News on 710 KURV is a service of Jay Gonzalez Injury Attorneys, ready to fight for you. Call 1-800-CAR-CRASH.
Fox News, I'm CJ Papa. Late night host Jimmy Kimmel pushing back on Monday night's show, explaining his joke that drew the ire of the First Lady. This from Jimmy Kimmel Live on ABC.
It was a pretend roast. I said, our First Lady Melania is here. Look at her, so beautiful. Mrs. Trump, you have a glow like an expectant widow, which obviously was a joke about their age difference.
Melania Trump roasting the late night host on X.
Kimmel's hateful and violent rhetoric is intended to divide our country. His monologue about my family isn't comedy. His words are corrosive and deepens the political sickness within America. People like Kimmel shouldn't have the opportunity to enter our homes each evening to spread hate.
Fox's Aisha Hasni, President Trump called for Kimmel to be immediately fired. America's listening to Fox News.
Some Texas news. Got some audio for you, Freddie. For the first time in 3 decades, nuclear power is coming to Texas.
The Pentagon said this week that a micro-reactor will be built at Joint Base San Antonio as part of a pilot program. Bexar County Commissioner Grant Moody says this is a huge win for the whole state.
Governor Abbott's been very clear that he wants to, invest in nuclear energy.
He says this will also boost the city's image and help the state's power grid over the mid to long term. It's unclear where the nuclear reactor will be located, but installation is expected to be completed by the year 2030.
This is the Valley's Morning News. This is News Talk 710 KURV. We invite you to join us online. Radio Para Mi is the free app. You can listen on your smartphone. As a business owner and property manager, the smart call is the Chamberlain Roofing and Waterproofing. The Chamberlain, with almost 130 years of experience. And as I have more conversations month to month with the good folks at Chamberlain, I am amazed at the culture of excellence and the construction and the repair, the maintenance of commercial roofing systems, but also impressed with the culture of safety that they have. I had a conversation about a month and a half ago with one of the chiefs, like the chief over safety training, as committed as they are. And they do this. They do across the board multitask training. Like if some employee doesn't know one system or to install this or that, they will pair that person up, even send them to a different market to learn. That way they can multitask. And as committed as they are to making sure that they're good folks at Chamberlain, know all the different systems and all the different installation and repair methods, also on training. They have like different strata of training that they get certified in. That's Chamberlain, commitment to excellence and the installation and upkeep of your commercial roofing system, and keep their people safe so that way they keep you safe as well. Nobody doing something silly falling off the roof. Yeah, you don't want something like that. I have to call the insurance company. Call Chamberlain Roofing Waterproofing. They can check your commercial roofing system free, gratis, no expense to you, give you an expert report. if you have any weak spots. And if you're okay, they'll tell you. These are godly people, good people, honest people. Chamberlain Roofing, waterproofing. Call them today to get your roofing systems, all of them, inspected for free. 956-655-6178.
Come experience larger-than-life luxury and design at Bird Ogden Infinity in Edinburgh. You're invited to come in and choose from a great selection of new Infinities available now. Drive your own 2026 Infinity QX60 for just $469 a month. And all Infinities come available with the Infinity Premium Care Maintenance Plan for 3 years. Experience luxury as it's meant to be at Bird Ogden Infinity on the corner of Alberta and Expressway 281 in Edinburgh. Shop from the entire line of Infinities online at birdogdeninfinity.com.
Steve Valdez is Director for Economic Development for our city of Weslaco. When I'm thinking economic development of late, I'm thinking airport.
Yeah, the location is great. It's centrally located in the region of South Texas. They've got a $27 million funding that came to them recently. In the EDC side, we use that as a promotional tool as much as we can.
What are some of the